It feels so weird to be back. Today's video, I'm going to start with a warning message. Please don't shoot the messenger. This is just a space where I allow myself to share my ideas. They can change over time. You don't have to agree with them. You can have a completely opposing opinion. I would love to hear your opinion and your thoughts in a respectful, open way. Please feel free to share in the comments because today we're going to talk about love, but we're going to talk about love in a way that I find not disclosed enough in my environment, maybe in my generation, maybe in our times. Maybe we're living in a space where love feels so fleeting, unserious, where the dating scene is, do I even have to say out loud how bad it is? The streets for a reason. But I do still want to talk about love. If you're new to this channel, my name is Lean, and I love to talk about everything in this world. I love to think about everything. And sometimes on occasion, I like to share those thoughts and perspectives just to get us thinking, to share some new ideas because they matter. And I've seen very beautiful minds on the internet that have helped me to think broader and to overcome the limiting beliefs I used to have about life and to just allow myself to chase my dreams without stopping myself from believing in them. Because for things to come true, you have to believe them. But sometimes there's external factors that influence what we deem possible in this world. And I want to break those barriers in this podcast. So, hi, welcome back. I'm so happy to be back. It's been a little while. I've been so busy in such a good way. Like I'm living the life of my dreams, may I say. I have come to a space in my life where I have chosen contentment for my reality. I have chosen to be content with where I am, with what I have, with who I am. And I find a lot of moments of happiness and bliss in that choice. I don't allow external factors to influence or to decide for me what it means to be successful, what it means to be lucky. Don't let it take away from the amount of gratitude I am blessed to feel, because I am grateful, I am blessed, I am privileged. If I'm talking to you on this internet, I have a voice. I am rich in so many ways, and I really want to take that in, and I choose to be content. My happiness and my contentment is a political stance. You'll never probably hear me talk politics like that on the internet. That's also a political stance, but my political choice is love and contentment and choosing to be grateful. Gratitude, a whole other conversation. But in that same branch, I have decided in the space of my life, and it has been a decision, there's a whole rational thought process behind it. There's a whole road of experiences of heartbreak, of debating friends, debating myself, journaling, going through different lovers, trying to understand what my feelings are, what my needs are, what makes me peak, what makes me crash. And I think I have decided for myself today. And if you're new or not, things might change. We don't stay in the same place forever in life. Luckily, we are allowed to change our mind. But today, I feel like love is a choice. I feel like finding the love of your life is a point in your life you have to choose internally to get at. It's that place in life where you just get tired of the dating and you realize there is no perfect person that will magically find you in your life, because that doesn't exist. We are not perfect. Nobody isn't perfect. Neither are you. So why are we still waiting for that perfect person to arrive and to be our ultimate happiness? Does that make sense? From everything that I have experienced up to this point, and I'm sure many of you can relate or have been through the same things, or people that are in a happy relationship, in a happy marriage, I realize for myself now that it is an actual choice. I don't know what they sell us, that, we just dream about this person and they will be perfect and they will desire us so much and they will put us on a pedestal and they will always boost our ego and things like that. That is so not real. And I don't know what your position is. I don't know what your view on love is. I don't feel like we really learn what love is. I think that it is really a journey we have to individually take and get to understand for ourselves, because I think it's one of the most fragile things. It's one of the most scary choices to make. It's one of the most scary paradigms to leap into, or things to commit to. And I get to understand as well more why marriage is such an important thing. I don't know what it's like today, because I've been living in my bubble so long and I am surrounded by like-minded people at this point. So you tell me, how much does our generation still believe in marriage and still believe in growing old with a person and having a lifelong partner and building something together, you know? Sometimes I see reels and things on the internet that make me feel like for a lot of people it's very far gone. And perhaps that's a generational thing. Maybe it's not a new phenomenon, but something every generation goes through at a certain point in their lifetime. And it always feels like it's something of the current times. But I'm sure every single person comes to this place in their life where they are looking for love, but don't really know where to look for it, don't really know what it's supposed to look like. They have perhaps disappointments of the past, and maybe they have relationships from the past they thought was love, but they weren't really sure, because who is going to tell them what is? There are so many feelings involved in this, I don't even want to call it game, but just in this phenomenon that make it very difficult to figure out what is right, what is wrong, and what we want love to look like for ourselves. And I did notice for myself that love will come in the way that you believe it's supposed to be. This is why I find spirituality and religion and all those things that help us to define our view on the world and the view on ourselves so important, because when you have a relationship with God or the universe, or just the relationship you have to the world, the relationship you have to other human beings, the way you understand them, the way you position yourself towards the world will define your definition of love. And I believe that in doing so, it will also influence the way you receive love. It will influence the ideas you have of love. It will influence the kind of relationships you receive into your life. Because it's always very easy to point the finger outside of us. It's always very easy to blame other people and to blame society for the way that things are. But all different paradigms, all different beliefs live at the same time, all everywhere, all at once, next to each other. I think there is this very deep need for understanding that your inner world will be reflected outwardly. What you see is reality is only because it is what you believe inside. And I'm not saying that it means that anything you believe can be true, because different realities can be true at the same time. But we have some kind of agency in learning to choose our paradigm, to be conscious about the way that we think, and decide and know that it is possible to think differently and to want differently and to step into that. It has to be a choice to choose a love and commitment. And I think there's a difference between love and seeing love as marriage and commitment and sticking to someone's side for the long term. I've decided to put my feelings away from the type of love that I'm looking for. I think we have to be really honest with ourselves and ask ourselves, what is it we really want? Do we want commitment? Do we want marriage? Do we want someone to have fun with? Do we want our sexual needs to be fulfilled? Do we want stability? Do we want adventure? Do we want, I think to find the love that it is we need, and it's going to be different for everyone. So filling the blank for you, I invite you to sit with yourself and really think about what it is you need and what it is you want. For some people, it's just about finding someone to have a good time with. They don't really think long term. But for other people, it's about finding someone to grow old with. It's about finding someone to build a family with. It's about, having someone to come home to, having someone to share your journey with. And I have noticed for myself that many people desire that, but not everyone has this discipline it takes, has the discipline it takes to be in a relationship like that. We expect it from other people, but are we ready to stay with a person despite the ups and downs, despite the uncertainty of where life is going, despite our feelings not always reflecting the willingness to be with a certain person? I used to think that love was about feeling things for people. I used to think that love was about having butterflies and wanting to see someone, thinking about them all the time, writing love songs, all the romantic stuff, about sparks when you kiss and just the whole world disappearing and just you being with that person. Oh, if you only are with one person and the rest of your world kind of disappears, I've noticed for myself that's not a healthy place to be in. But you do as you please with that. Everyone has to go through their own journey, of course. But I do notice that I have the capability, and I think a lot of human beings have the capability. If you spend enough time with a person, we can all fall in love with each other. We are all mirrors to each other. We can all learn something from each other. And it is easy to fall into attachment. We are, and attachment sounds so bad, but we need people. We need people around us. We want to attach and connect to human beings. I believe that is core to us. Of course, there's some people that are so rebellious towards that and they really want solitude, and that's also okay. They will also find their people in a way, but I do believe that what we truly want deep down is someone that wants to live a life with us, someone wants to share our time, share our space, without us being connected to them feeling like it is we are disappointing or betraying our own needs and desires and wants. It's a very complicated thing. It doesn't always make sense. I really think we underestimate, or perhaps sometimes we're not quite aware of how much work it takes to be in a relationship, because you need to be present and you need to love the person before having the proof of their love, meaning or the desired outcome of whatever it is you're investing in. You need to somewhere believe that love is possible and want to trust that the person that is in front of you has love within them for you, but is just flawed or doesn't always have the possibilities, the means, the energy, the vocabulary to express what they want, without thinking they are a bad person or they don't have the intention of good things for you. And this is why I'm going to bring this all back to everything I talk about on this channel, which is also the journey of our self-development and of the spiritual growth within ourselves, of understanding our mind, understanding our heart, and why I believe it is very important, because we need to be self-aware and we need to be able to take accountability for the places where we lack, to be able to show up for a person, to be able to show compassion, and to also stay humble, humbly understand that we are not perfect. We are not perfect, but that's okay. It's not because you still have flaws, because you still have scars, because you still have pain, that you do not deserve love. That is also not true. Your lover is not going to come save you out of this place of pain. I think it's up to us to nurture ourselves, to make sure we take care of ourselves, to stand up for our own needs, to stay in conversation, in monologue, whatever you want, dialogue, or maybe you have several people in your head, to stay in conversation with the self, to be able to give other people the opportunity to love us better. Sometimes we already have these expectations and we feel our feelings internally, and we expect people to show up in the ways that we need without us verbalizing our needs, verbalizing our fears, verbalizing our desires. It is a continuous back and forth. It is a continuous coming together and choosing to show up for the other and not giving up, not running away, but being present. And sometimes it's what's up and with ups and downs and disagreements. Of course, sometimes we forget we get a little lost in our own thoughts, in our own emotions, in our own everyday mundane, experiences. Life happens. But I wish we all at least want a healthy personal life for ourselves that we can come together with someone else. I think that's a very beautiful thing to aspire to. But then again, that's my personal desire. You do with that as you please. So yeah, maybe it's time you stop running away from being honest with yourself about what it is you need, and allowing yourself to express your fears and your needs, and allowing someone else to also step up to the plate with you. And the sooner you choose love, and the sooner you choose the risk to be hurt or to lose a person, the less you'll live in that limbo, the less you'll live in that uncertainty where love always feels just unreachable, or just one step away, or like you're forever chasing after it. You can choose love today, and you'll see what the response is. If the response isn't what you hoped for, or if it's not mutual, or you don't agree, then perhaps it wasn't meant to be, but you chose to believe that it was true. And I think that's the most important thing to do for ourselves. I don't know. I don't know if that made some kind of sense. I'm very new to this. I've never podcasted before, so please pardon my language. Please pardon my thoughts. I'm getting back into the flow. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed this. Please let me know what you think about it. Take care of yourself. Don't let go. Don't stop. Don't give up on love. There are very harsh times coming. I feel it. There are difficult years coming ahead of us, and I feel like love is going to save us. I feel like love is a future. I feel like love is what mends all bridges. I feel like love is what, yes, starts wars, but also is the reason we survive them, we get through them, and we can build a world again after them. I'm talking like we're about to get into war, but honestly, it does feel like that, doesn't it? Let's stay realistic. We're optimistic, but we're also realistic. So we have to be careful with that. And I truly believe that what we need in this world, most of all right now, is love in any form. And when you choose love in your personal life, it shows up in 1,000 different ways in all aspects of the world. And it really takes away the feeling of hopelessness that is put upon us in a lot of different aspects in this life. There is still hope, but we have to find it internally, and we have to create that world where hope and love win and is resilient for ourselves, so we can bring that on to the rest of the world. I really feel like the change we are seeking for starts with ourselves. You cannot change the world, you cannot save the world, but you can start with being the person the world needs in your own personal life, in the relationships around you, and for yourself. That's on that note, I'm going to leave it. And yeah, see you in the next video, I hope. Bye, guys.